The weeds of fear and sorrow grow side by side with the wheat of love and joy. And they're so intertwined that they cannot be separated in this life. They are as connected as the left and right ventricles of the heart. One simply cannot cut away the weeds without consequence to the wheat. That seems to be the wisdom of Jesus' parable. We often imagine that the spiritual life should make us immune from struggle. We think that if we pray enough, believe enough, trust enough, then fear will disappear, sorrow will lift, and anxiety will give way to peace forever. But Jesus never promises a weed-free field or life. Instead, he tells us that the wheat and the weeds grow together until the harvest. That truth is echoed in the modern work of author and psychiatrist Lisa Miller. I mentioned her last week also. Her research explores the relationship between spirituality and psychology. And her findings reveal something remarkable that, in my mind, connected to these readings today. People who have, she found, people who have a well-grounded spiritual life tend to weather depression and anxiety better than those who do not. In other words, regular spiritual practices offer significant protection against addiction, substance abuse, suicide, and just generally getting through hard times. It's not complete protection, we know this, but it's very meaningful protection. She believes 4 out of 5, 80%. But she also discovered something even more surprising, perhaps, although maybe, I don't know, it resonated for me. Many of those with the deepest spiritual lives have also experienced profound seasons of depression, anxiety, grief, or despair. The two are connected. Our spiritual lives help carry us through difficult seasons, and difficult seasons, in turn, deepen our spiritual lives. The weeds of fear and sorrow grow beside the wheat of love and joy. Anxiety and prayer, grief and hope, questions and faith grow beside one another. The holy often appears in the places where we expected only pain. And perhaps that's why Jesus fills this chapter of Matthew with parables. He wants us to learn to see differently. He tells another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour till it was all leavened. In my imagination, Jesus is calling to mind his own mother. I picture Mary in the ordinary rhythm of her day, grinding grain, mixing flour with water, adding the leaven, kneading the dough, waiting as it rises, baking bread until its warm, yeasty aroma fills the house and spills into the street, and then she breaks the loaf, sharing it with family, neighbors, and strangers. All those people, family, neighbors, and strangers, because everyone present hearing this parable would know that 3 measures is 50 to 60 pounds of flour. And then she added leaven to it. Holy, fragrant, delicious abundance. That's the kingdom of heaven. In a land occupied by Roman soldiers where uncertainty and violence could erupt without warning, the kingdom of heaven was present in bread baked, bread broken, bread shared. The daily work of love becoming holy. And so we pray Give us this day our daily bread. Asking God to help us recognize that heaven continues to rise abundantly in ordinary places. And then Jesus says, I spy with my little eye a mustard plant grown from such a tiny seed. And yet, from that small, tiny seed grows a great shrub where birds find shelter and humans find many uses. The branches provide twigs that clean teeth. Its fruit flavors food. Its leaves and oils are used as medicine to soothe digestion, reduce inflammation, and promote healing. Something so small becomes a source of nourishment, healing, and refuge. And that is the kingdom of heaven. It rarely arrives with fanfare. It comes quietly, slowly, patiently, growing almost unnoticed until one day we realize we are standing in its shade. And so I wonder, if Jesus were sitting beside you today, to what would he say, I spy with my little eye? What would remind Jesus of heaven growing here? Would he look out your window and delight in the beauty of creation? Would he notice neighbors stopping to talk, exchanging stories, offering kindness? Would he glance in your kitchen and smile at the beautiful messiness of family life? Would he watch someone preparing a meal, folding laundry, tending a garden, calling a friend? Or perhaps he would simply look into your eyes, and there he would see a beloved child of God, someone carrying both weeds and wheat, someone who has known sorrow and joy, fear and courage, loss and hope, someone in whom the kingdom is quietly growing. There's a 55-year-old song by Karen Lafferty that goes, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Because when we seek God's kingdom, we begin to recognize that heaven's already breaking into earth. In bread and mustard, in neighbors and nature, in laughter and tears, in ordinary days and extraordinary grace, in you and me. The weeds may still be there, but so is the wheat. The sorrow remains, so does joy. The struggle continues, so does God's faithful presence. And one day, Jesus promises, the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of heaven. Until then, we keep baking bread. We keep planting seeds and tending the field. We keep trusting that even in the tangled places of our lives, the kingdom of heaven is already growing. Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear.